All right, here we go. And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We start out this Friday, not bad at all. 59 as we wait for a high later today to be somewhere right around 86. It's going to be pretty good. So we'll be nice and warm. And boy, the weather this weekend, perfect for any event that you've got going on. We'll talk about, I think it's huge in Oxford this weekend in the state of Mississippi. They got a big event going on. A lot of people from Meridian make their way for that annual event as well. If you're going to be traveling south, well, toward the beach this weekend, let's show you the fog this morning. If you've already left heading out, as we look at Honda Meridian radar here, we do have a lot of fog here. Pensacola area, look at this, all the way over. Crestview, plenty of fog there. Chipley in these areas here as you make your way toward Panama City. That's where the fog is today. As you look across here, state of Mississippi, all clear. We do have showers out to our northwest there in Oklahoma, making its way through there. Tulsa getting pounded this morning with thunderstorms as they begin their day. But here in the deep south, it looks all good. So we'll have complete updates of what's going on in our neighborhood coming up at the top of the hour. Hope you'll join the morning show. We'll go over what we know about what has happened in the little town of Meridian, Mississippi overnight. Give you the latest that we know of. All that's up and coming. Let's shake things off and get a good word for today. Let's go to Collinsville now.
The NCAA men's and women's basketball championships have recently wrapped up. At the sound of the last buzzer, the winning team celebrates on the court with lots of confetti and music and hugging and just going crazy. Another thing that happens is the players and coaches get interviewed by the media. It almost never fails. When one of them is asked a question about how they succeeded, they will almost always talk about how their team has overcome adversity during the season. Overcoming was part of their victory. In 1 John 5, verses 4 and 5, the Apostle John speaks to how believers in Christ are really overcomers. He says, "For everyone born of God overcomes the world. This is the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith. Who is it that overcomes the world? Only he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God." Every believer is an overcomer. What do we overcome? We overcome all of the wickedness of the world system and all that the devil seeks to use to keep people on the path to hell. How do we overcome this? By putting our faith in Jesus Christ. What we overcome goes much deeper than simple adversity. The devil attacks with purpose and intent. Only those who believe in Jesus will overcome and have victory. And when we win, we can tell others about how God has helped us overcome and share in His victory. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that message. Again, they'll be open Sunday morning. Go visit with them. They'd love to have you as a guest in their church. Collinsville First Baptist Church is where that is. As we begin Friday, we'll have Greg Julia come in and just a little be our special guest to get us through this Friday. I hope you'll join it. Always fun as we begin a Friday. We look at headlines that are shaping America. Let's go to Minnesota. They were tearing down an old school building. Always neat to look for things like this. As they got toward the cornerstone, they found a time capsule. Everything's still well preserved. Lots of newspapers and things that were going on in the neighborhood. Nothing extraordinary, but it was a lot of school newspapers and who was involved when the school was built. Always fun to find time capsules, and that is neat there. A lot of times we'll find this and things will be leaked and well wet, but this was not. All in good shape there. Have you ever wanted to own your own restaurant, Odie? Wait a minute, Odie's family did. You want another one? If you're in the market for one, nationally, Red Lobster is up for sale. They're trying to stop it from becoming bankruptcy as they try to sell the business. So if you've got a hankering, that's what's happening nationwide. Hopefully it'll be able to be saved and continue on. Can't beat those biscuits. What did we find out was in butter? Shrimp? Is that what's it? Crab biscuits. Boy, those things are good. Really good there. Well, occasionally we hear of cars that are stolen. We go to Florida this time, and it would be a customizable sports car. Nothing wrong with that. Some people are still close to those who were deceased to them. Mama's ashes were in the car. But have no fear, the thief felt bad about it and drove back to the house, eased up to the house, and dropped the ashes off. then left with the car again.
You get in the car.
Well, it's kind, I guess. If you're going to be, what do they call that? Honor among thieves?
Yeah.
Took Mama back. Car has not been found yet. I didn't realize that this had gotten to be this big, but as we start looking at milk, they're starting to say the bird flu. It's infected several herds of cows, and they're starting to pick up on this in pasteurized milk. Have you heard all this? Ooh. Pay attention. As this could get bigger, we'll let you know. But they're doing testing and making sure everything's okay. I see this as a problem. AI, artificial intelligence. As well, it creates pictures. It really makes things look good. But, images that are, let's say you want to buy a pattern, crochet. Somebody does an AI of it, puts it up for sale, then you get the pattern and it doesn't look that way. A lot of complaints of things that, it doesn't look. Oh, wait a minute, that's also the Facebook blurry thing that changes people's look. Those profile pictures on dating sites and images may be 30 years older than they appear. I think, should that be put on those?
Well, I think that's everybody that puts their own picture on Facebook.
That happens a lot. And I say that jokingly, but there are a lot of folks you bump into you don't recognize. And we're starting to see that with artificial intelligence as products. And be leery of this. Also, this will start affecting the car market. People will put pictures of a car and you go to buy it and it doesn't look anything like that. Just heads up and be cautious of what you do and how you spend your money. We see that someone from the Secret Service has been removed from their duty. Kamala Harris's duty in her lineup of Secret Servicemen. They got sick. They won't tell us any more than that. But they got ill on the job and were removed and, replaced by someone. That's all they're saying. It was a medical emergency. That's it. Nothing more. Real secretive, aren't they? Yeah. They are. We have someone from Ohio, and this is the scene as the police pull up to a scene. There's been a wreck. The driver of the vehicle is not there. People go, well, he walked that way. They walk down, find the man inside a bar. They go in, they identify him, they put him in cuffs. He's lying on the floor, and he says, I can't breathe. A few minutes later, he's still saying the same thing. He would be checked 5 minutes later. CPR began, he died. Now, what caused it, I don't know. Was it a heart attack? I would assume that it's a shocking moment for a lot of people to be handcuffed. Their heart races and they can't handle it. We don't know that yet, but he did, it was 8 minutes before paramedics arrived on scene and too late at that point. That's all we know at this point, but that's probably going to be a pretty big national story. Be looking for that out of Ohio as we do that. What do you do in Russia? Nothing bad because, things are a little bit different over there, especially bribing. There's a man that owns a construction company that's been accused of bribing a Russian minister. Well, he gave him a lot of services. You give me a contract, I'll take care of things for you. In the end, it's not going to be good for either one of those two people involved in this. Putin doesn't put up with anything. A lot of times people that are sent to prison there you never hear of again until they're toted out. We know what I'm hinting at on that of what goes on in other countries. Not a country to be messing with as we look at that. Sharon, how are you this morning? I see Arnold is up. Jet, good morning to you. TB Fish Camp does really good. I'm not sure what Chet's talking about there. He's into some food that I didn't know about there. We'll get in on that. Matt Green, good morning to you from the Clarkdale community. Oh, we're talking about fish. The old ZL's Fish House in Chunky is for sale. You can get a great price on that, Arnold says. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We've got some restaurants up for sale there. Charlotte, good morning from Philadelphia. Do hope your morning is well and going good there. We'll be right back as we'll get into this forecast to break it down, what to expect and when the rain is going to come. It will come. We'll tell you about that next as we get this day underway. Philadelphia Gun & Pound, located at 910 Posey Avenue, has tons of lawnmowers to choose from. A big selection of zero-turn lawnmowers, power washers, and even barbecue grills. Step inside the store and see their complete line of Liberty safes along with those Browning safes. A large selection of Louis Vuitton purses along with satin shirts and bead sets. And tons to choose from for the outdoorsman in your household. And always a great deal on any type of jewelry you're looking for. And a private lobby for pawns for your confidentiality. Philadelphia Gun and Pawn. Welcome back. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Those record highs and record lows, y'all remember 1989? Well, it was 89 today. Kind of matches, doesn't it? 1910, a different story, as it was 34 degrees some time ago. 1910, we've had that several days in a row here of being a record breaker with lows there. As we look for this sunshine today throughout the Meridian area, it'll be partly sunny as we get further toward Philadelphia and on up toward Columbus. But 85 in Philadelphia, we'll see 84-ish around Mississippi State. Not bad at all. Down the river, we'll go from anywhere from 82 in Greenville to a high down 85 in Natchez upon the river. Great weather there, not at all bad. As we go to Bama, we'll see 86 in Demopolis, even 87 over to Montgomery. Birmingham sitting in at about 84 today. Great weather across the Twin States. You can't beat that. As we look at this, now again, they're still saying it's going to be windy on Saturday. Think about that. Don't burn anything on Saturday. And speaking of, we'll talk about the gust of what's going to happen today. This is the outlook over the next 10 days. Anybody notice anything? Whew, that's smoking warm, isn't it? That's what we're going to see in this forecast as we look at this now. 86 today, down to only 64 tonight. But believe me, if you're missing out on getting up early and sitting on a front porch, that 64 degrees is perfect. It is the greatest coffee moments you could ever have in your life. Don't waste another day. Enjoy it. As we see tomorrow, almost a ditto of today, 84 with a high, low of 65 tomorrow night. As we go into Sunday, we'll see more of the same, 84, 62. And then this is when we get our rain chances here. And it looks like to be a little bit more rain forecasted for Tuesday. We got a 40% chance both days there. Lows in the mid-60s there, and then we're back to a partly cloudy sky on Wednesday, and those temps moving back to 86 for both days. Now, as we go another week into May, look at this, May the 10th being forecasted. This year is flying. We'll be talking about the 4th of July before long. We see that Friday the 3rd, 82, a scattered shower possible there, all the way seeing 87 there even by the 8th, and by the 10th of the month, we're still sitting at 83 with a partly cloudy sky. Not bad weather at all. We can't complain a bit. We're still hopefully a few weeks away from seeing anything with the 9 in front of it. And heaven forbid, as we get near July and August, those triple digits. It happens, though. That's what we've got. Now, let's talk about fishing. Chet's all geared up. Let's see what the fishing calendar calls for today. Looks great. Perfect time today is going to be this afternoon at 3 o'clock through about 5 o'clock. So if you can take off a little early and hit the lake, it'll be perfect, 3 o'clock. As you'll have a minor time this afternoon around 11 o'clock till about 1:15-ish. A chance there, but your best time again, 3 o'clock. Now, this is the winds that we want to remind you about today. Light wind increasing 10 to 15, but the wind gusts are going to be windy. May not be the greatest hair day of all. 25-mile-an-hour gust as we look at that. Wow. We're coming up on the top of the hour. We're going to have all of your local headlines of what's going on in our community. And again, we're going to do some bragging on Newton County. They done a good job last night. We'll talk about that coming up at the top of the hour at 7. Jan, so good to see you as well. She's up stirring today. Again, we're roughly about 10 minutes away from coming back live as we'll bring you the morning show and everything that's going on in our community. Won't you join us? Odie's in the house. He's already prepared, getting coffee ready for everybody. Greg will be here, and Julia will brighten things up to, well, make it look better. We'll be back in just a few moments. Join us live at 7.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.